Here we go. All right, so welcome to Eastchester Vault Watch Party Week 3. As we mentioned, we're kind of going way back here to 1984. We have a total of 6 alumni here watching the 1984 Conference Championship Bowl game between Eastchester and Brewster. I want to kind of start, as I have been, with my offensive lineman. I think it would seem like the most sense to start with Tom Demarco. He was a senior. Number 62 and a defensive tackle and left guard. Tom, thanks for coming in and joining up.
Thanks for having me, Anthony.
Alongside with him and playing at left tackle was number 76, Andrew Grundy. The left side of the line has a very big game towards the second half, so just wanted to compliment you guys already with that. But Andrew Grundy, welcome.
Great. Thanks, Anthony. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. George Fotiadis was a defensive tackle and also an offensive tackle. He was number 72. He has just joined us today, so thanks for coming, George.
Thank you, Anthony. Glad to be here.
Phil Pinto was a defensive end and a right tackle, and he has a fantastic game on defense in terms of tackles. Phil, great game, and thanks for coming.
Tony, my pleasure to be here.
You're welcome. John Delvecchio was a receiver, a running back. He played outside linebacker. He has a tremendous second half. We can't wait to see. He was number 11, and he was a senior. John, thanks for coming.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Sure. And, of course, last but not least, he is the quarterback and safety of this time. We know him as the head coach now, but he was number 17, a senior, and captain, I believe, at the time, number 17, Fred DiCarlo. Fred, welcome.
Thanks. I won't call you Anthony. I'll call you Tony like everybody else is supposed to. But just a quick note. I appreciate all that you've done for this, for the alumni and for the program. This is great, and I know a lot of people are tuning in, so thanks.
Absolutely. And we appreciate all you guys coming. So as I mentioned, I'm going to share my screen now, and what we're going to do is even though I was not even alive for the game, as crazy as that sounds, I am going to play through the intro. I've talked to Coach Fred. I've talked to a couple different people a part of this game, and this is just a little bit of an intro. So please, if there's something I forgot or I didn't really add, please just by all means, let's talk about it after. If there's any other thoughts you have after the game, before the game started, please let me know. But see if this is a good intro and can kind of give you back like you were in 1984. I think the date was November 17th, you guys said. 1984. See if this is a good summary of where you guys were coming into this game. Okay, welcome to Eastchester Vault Week 3. We're going way back this time, all the way back to 1984. We're going to look at a game between Eastchester and Brewster for a very big championship game. I think we just need to start off by saying this is head coach Fred DiCarlo's final season. It's his final game. It's his senior season. He is the quarterback of the Eastchester Eagles and without a doubt playing in the biggest game of his particular career. This game is a very typical 1980s hard-nosed smash-mouth football game. It is very physical. There are very good offensive and defensive lines, and there's also very good coaching in this game. The names that are coaching in this game are just going to go on to be legendary coaches in Section 1. First off, the Eastchester head coach is John Demarco. He would eventually win a couple of state championships over at Tuckahoe. He's the head coach of Eastchester. The head coach of Brewster is Brian Walsh, who had a legendary career for Section 1, won a couple different state championships for a couple different teams, and he was most recently at Our Lady of Lourdes and just recently retired. But he is a fantastic coach, and he is coaching Brewster at this point in time. Eastchester has a couple of assistants, one by the name of Pete Williams, who coached at Iona College. They also have Lou DiRienzo, who is a young Lou DiRienzo, but Lou DiRienzo also went on to be a New Rochelle head coach and eventually won a few state championships there. So the coaching is very good in this game. The schemes are very good, and it's just a very good game. So we should mention that this is playing for what's called the Conference B Championship. Eastchester's coming in with a record of 6-1-1. Their only loss was to Nanuet, and they had tied Portchester in the year, but they had beaten Rye, they had beaten Harrison, and won some very big games along the way, and this gave them the opportunity to play for this particular championship game. Brewster was coming in with a 7-1-1 record. So back in Section 1, there wasn't playing for a section championship. What they did was they took like the top 6 teams, played in like 3 premium bowl games, and instead of playing at Mayapack like they do now, they used to play in Mount Vernon at a field called Memorial Field. So the players, played their season, and they were able to get a bid to play at Memorial Field for this bowl championship game. So obviously it's a tremendously big game in a lot of different ways. Besides this just being a bowl game and a bowl championship, Eastchester really was led by their seniors at this point in time. Obviously, quarterback Fred DiCarlo, and he was also playing safety at this time. Running back, number 34, Nick Iannone, had a great game, very physical runner. Receiver, running back, seems like he did it all. John Delvecchio, number 11, also a senior, had a fantastic game. And Eastchester is going to be down 7-0 going into the fourth quarter, and they're going to put together an amazing comeback victory. And I would say maybe one of the most epic final drives ever seen. Under 2 minutes left in the game, no timeouts. Fred DiCarlo is going to march down the field with his team and set up a just unbelievable final play to win the game. And, between all of the, great physicality in the game, it's going to take a very nice pass to win the game. And we just hope that you enjoy this particular game. Defensively, Eastchester did a fantastic job holding only Brewster to 7 points, less than 200 yards overall. They were led by junior Brendan Walsh, number 12. He had a bunch of tackles, 7 tackles. Senior Phil Pinto, he had 6 tackles. And then there was a whole bunch of guys under that had like 5 tackles or 4 tackles. So it was just a really good game defensively. And then the offense was able to turn it on at the right point to win this very epic Conference B championship game. So without further ado, we hope you tune in and enjoy this 1984 Conference B championship game. It's a fun one, a physical one, and I think it's a game you'll definitely remember. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, gentlemen, before we get started, if there's any other things that you want to add, any thoughts you had maybe prior to the game, or just any details in general, this is now the time to do it before the game gets going. So the floor is yours.
Well, Tony, one thing I just wanted to add, you look across the sideline, you see the amount of players that Brewster had, and you look at our sideline. We had a lot of challenges, as many sports today. We only had 22 players on that team. And one thing Coach Demarco said is that he had 22 football players. And you look at the game and the physicality, like you say, it's a true testament on how everybody really stepped up for this game and the way we played all year.
I always feel like Eastchester's down players, and they're always looking across the sideline with more guys. So I appreciate you sharing that, and that does go into your guys' heart.
Tone, funny thing, before Fudd said that, I was watching the band, and I'm like, the band had, 15 or 20 more participants than we had on the field. And, we haven't talked. None of the people on the call have talked about the game. That was like one thing that I was going to say, and then Fudd just jumped on it. So you can just see we're all on the same wavelength.
And Tony, I would add 2 weeks prior to this, we had played Rye. And we had one of the greatest weeks of practice ever leading up to that game. And we went in, and Nicky scored 4 touchdowns in that game, and it was amazing. Yeah. And we went, and our last game was against Pelham, and we were just flying high. And my recollection is that we had a terrible week of practice, not a great week of practice. And I think that's part of the reason why it took us a little while to get going in this game, because, they say you play like you practice. And I think we started off a little slower than we did maybe in some other games. So, but that's my recollection going into it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely get off to a slow start, but you guys come roaring back. So that's very interesting. I'm glad you shared that. Anything else, gentlemen, before we get this game going?
No, let's rock. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So we're going to play it on mute for a little bit. We'll just kind of play it through. Brewster starts with the kickoff, and there's Coach Demarco. My Lord. He kind of still looks the same, though, in some ways.
You got those sideburns.
The first question I have is, because I'm a little bit of a preppy play on turf when I played sort of thing. What was it like playing on infield this whole game? Like, what's it like playing in dirt and mud and all this stuff? Because football players don't do that anymore, it seems like.
It wasn't the field, it was the bowl. I mean, it was Mahopac now is what Mount Vernon was back then, and we didn't really care the field. We just were happy, one of the few teams in Eastchester to go to a bowl game like this, to be happy to play in there.
Yeah, our home field wasn't anything special either, I don't think. So it's probably an upgrade.
We were definitely used to playing in dirt. Practiced it, playing it.
That was junior Jeff Boyer there on a toss. He doesn't get many handoffs this game, Jeff, but we know he has a bigger career as he gets a little bit older. Already under pressure there. Nice completion there to Iannone. Is it Iannone or Iannone?
Iannone.
Iannone. Okay, I want to make sure I say that correctly. We'll say his name a lot. So you guys get a good first completion here, but it ends up being a holding call or something pushes you guys back to like a second and a mile here. So you guys get off to like that start, as Tom was saying, like not the start you guys wanted to. You guys are 2nd and 30 here. This time Fred's dropping back. Big hit there. Oh my goodness. And there's a sack there by Brewster. This is 3rd and 35, so just going to try and get this ball punted away. Try to pass over there to Walsh. Incomplete.
Just being a coach now, looking at it, we passed a lot back then. I mean, and seeing they had like 8 or 9 in the box, and that's kind of crazy thinking about how much we did pass at the time.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of guys in the box. Now, me watching this for the first time, like I think it's 4th down, and Fred's under center. I'm like, they're not going for this, are they? So this is a cool little punt I've never seen done before. I'm not sure if you guys remember this. This is how you guys used to punt the ball sometimes. This is 4th and 40. I guess you just toss it back to Nick, who's also your punter.
Yep. A little quick kick there.
No?
Yeah.
It worked.
Tom, throw long snapper.
Okay.
No?
All right. So we have this is a huge thing in this game. Just the field position is going to be tilted in Brewster's way early, and they're a team that kind of runs right at you. And you guys are tough on D-line. Here's some of the starters here. On pause, give some recognition. John Delvecchio, George Fotiadis, Tom Demarco, Chris Campone, Phil Pinto, Nick Iannone. What's amazing is, like, at some point in this game, all of these defensive ends and defensive linemen make good plays in the game. Have a lot of tackles on defensive line.
Yeah, Chris Campbell, beast on defense.
Yeah.
A beast.
Brendan Walsh, Mike Telesco, Billy Pompey, Doug Esposito, and Fred DiCarlo are basically the secondary and the linebackers. And Walsh does lead the way in tackles, but like Telesco has 5, Billy Pompey has 4, Doug Esposito has 4, Freddie has 4. Like, you guys were a team defense. I mean, it was very clear, like, everyone contributes on this defense. 2nd down toss. Good tackle by Dougie Esposito.
Election, but I remember they ran. In my mind, they ran a lot of screens because I remember I got fooled by several of them. But it might have just stuck in my mind because I got fooled so much.
They definitely ran right at you and did a little bit of the screen stuff too. Phil Pinto, a big 3rd down stop there, and they're forced to punt the ball away. And they definitely put a field position game early. They're able to get it inside the 2. Oh, actually inside the 7, inside the 10 here. The I formation. Hand off to Nick. That's a few yards.
We were running the triple option. We were reading and probably I should pitch more than I did, but we were running the triple. We were reading the defensive tackle.
Yep.
If it would give, or we were pulling it and then going to the option after that.
Yep, very clear. You pull it sometimes throughout this game, but you're getting it going early. Nick again. Brewster defense swarming. Gonna have a 3rd and long. And it seemed like you guys were in so many 3rd and longs, especially early on in this game. Time protection a little bit better. That's the first pass to John, just over his head a little bit. And time for an Eastchester punt. So now you guys are in a regular punt. So now, Tom, you're the long snapper here? Or is this
No, I think it was Tommy Richter.
Okay.
The long snapper.
Gotcha.
I think.
Good snap. I'm not sure if this is the one. This is the one where the punter might make the tackle.
And Nicky was punting, I think.
Yeah, I think he ends up getting in there late. All right, so again, Brewster in good field position, and this good field position is going to be tough for you guys here as they get a good toss here. Get on the edge a little bit. Freddie makes the tackle. Gets it inside the 15 just like that. Hand off to 33. Brewster's moving the ball. Good pressure by that defensive line. So you get Brewster into a 3rd and long here, and we're going to unmute the video for the first time. We have a big play coming by Brewster. See if you guys can remember this play or remember anything about it, because this is the first time Brewster puts a big play on.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Holds the state record at 52 yards. He really blasted one last night. Well, Brewster's going to go for it on 4th and 8. Ducillo looking to throw, rolling out to the far side. Now lets it go. He's got a receiver open. Touchdown!
Well, John, he had the man open on the left corner of the end zone, and he threw the pass. As you said, he could zip it in there. And
looked like a really good pass. You guys remember anything about that play?
I don't remember anything, to be honest with you. Not this. I don't remember.
I remember. I remember. I remember just being. I couldn't believe that this was happening. I just think we just came off, like I said, these really big wins. I think we came in riding high, and it sort of woke us up. I think it woke us up. It took us a little while to fully wake up, but I think this really woke us up. Like we were down. So
yeah, this is a great throw by the QB.
For that part, Tommy, we were never used to being down, behind the 8 ball so quick in a game. So definitely what Tommy said. So definitely a surprise.
Yeah, so Brewster gets off to this 6-0 lead here. It was a 4th down. You guys made the quarterback make a very tough throw, and he did. I don't think their quarterback makes a ton of big throws in this game. That was one of them, though, for sure. Delvecchio had pressure, and he just kind of snuck it in that left corner of the end zone there, and gives Brewster this 6-0 lead. And, yeah, hear what you guys are saying. You guys haven't been down too much this year, and, the fact that it's a conference championship game makes it big. And they take an early 7-0 lead. All right, Brewster kicking off again. Not sure who's returning that. A very physical return there. Good tackle by Brewster. There's some type of penalty here before we get the drive started. Defensive encroachment. There's your dive option, triple option. Ready for 8 there. And first down of the game.
What do you think about the all red, Coach Pania?
It's pretty good. I would be all for a throwback. All right, let's see here. This time I hand off to Demarco again. Not Demarco, excuse me. I hand off to Nick Iannone. -2 yards. Coach Fred on that option again. Gets up a pretty good gain here. And it seems like this whole first half, you guys are constantly in 3rd and long. So here's another one of those. And they kind of know that you're probably going to pass as they come here. And it's just a whole lot of this. So Coach Fred, do you guys, you remember getting a lot of pressure on you this game?
I do. And now that, I do remember they're getting a lot of pressure. Seeing up now, there's 7 or 8 guys on the line. I don't know what our line can do to stop them. They look like they're blitzing everybody. They have a good scouting report on it because they came every time I was passing.
Yes. I don't even think the offensive line is doing anything wrong. I think the coach of Brewster is very good, and he was scheming some things of just sending more guys than you could block. There's some better views of it I'll kind of point out. But just missed there. A good effort, too. I think that was to Iannone again. You guys are forced to punt. And now down 7-0, giving Brewster the ball back after they score. You guys need a big defensive stop for sure.
Looks like we were short a guy in there.
Maybe. Good tackle by Pompey. Good pressure there, 62. So I have a question for you guys. So the way they filmed this was not something that happened every week. Was this just for big games, or were all your games filmed like this? Because I was so impressed with how they filmed all this stuff back then.
Wasn't this on the cable channel?
So typically when they did these Class B bowl games, this was the equivalent of what Optimum is today.
Right.
So it was like UA Columbia, Cablevision.
Yeah.
John Caridio, who was one of the announcers, he's an Eastchester graduate. So, they had the booth there. They had the cameras in the bucket truck. So this, when you were kids back in the day, this was a big thing.
This was huge. I think it's filmed better back then than it is now, believe it or not. Like now it's live, but it's all like one take, and it's, this was just done very well. Pressure out there. You guys just swarm on defense, man. All right, start of the second quarter here. Been a lot of running by Brewster. Walsh with the tackle. And sets up a punt. All right, throwing on first down this time. Okay, this is a scary one. Let's unmute for this one here.
Fine. Fred DiCarlo's the quarterback. Iannone and Boyer are the setbacks. DiCarlo looking to throw right across the middle, almost intercepted.
I'm not even going to ask Coach Freddie if he remembers that particular play, but maybe Tom or someone else. Do you guys remember that particular play? Because that looked like if it was intercepted, this would be going back.
I don't remember the particular play, but back to what I was saying before. This is how I felt the whole first half.
Yeah.
To me, every play was like this. Nothing felt right that first half. We were just so off.
Absolutely. Been a tough start on offense, but defense is keeping you in. This is a wild play. Fred under pressure gets it to Iannone. And as crazy as this play was, it looks like it's a big gain, but it ends up being just like a 4-yard gain or something when it's all said and done. Because he ends up being maybe more than that.
Look at that downfield blocking, 74. Good job there.
I was going to say, downfield blocking.
That's it. That's what it was all about.
Knock it down.
Yep. Pinto getting out there. Delvecchio helping out. Good team play. All right, so you get a little spark there. Hand off to Iannone. He's a tough kid. I'm sure he's not a kid anymore, but back then he was. Got a defensive encroachment.
Nicky was some runner. He wasn't real big, but man, he could go downhill quickly.
Yeah. You start to see it in the second half, especially. Start getting some room.
He was punishing. He really was good.
Okay. So this is now for my is this you in the slide here, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Looks it.
All right. So we're looking now for the more modern day football players. Was there any particular reason why some receivers went into a 3-point stance, or was there any particular reason that you would remember why you would do this? Because receivers now stand up usually.
Yeah. No, I don't have any recollection. It looks odd now. I look at it like that.
Almost looks
Yeah,
like a punter.
I'm still in the. I don't know. I'm still in the backfield, I suppose, but out on the side.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't see that too much anymore, but it seems like you get a good little head start there. All right, so this is the one I kind of wanted to point out. This is where their coach really, shows Brian Walsh he does a very good job. So what they tended to do was they would pretty much send 4 defensive players to your side away from the tight end. So they had the nose guard, and they had a blitzer and a tackle and another blitzer. So basically they had 4 guys rushing against 3 blockers. So this is why it seems like Coach Fred's under a lot of pressure, because there's too many guys there. And after 2nd and 6, we're now 3rd and 25. And I know John Diarco and DiRienzo and Pete Williams are all good coaches, but there's not many good plays for 3rd and 30. It's almost like you have to concede this drive now, too. Little fumble there, Fred was able to pick up. That's a nice time to pause right here. So this is just, again, going through their stats. Go ahead.
Just for the guys that are on the call, Coach Walsh is, I think this year, is retiring from Our Lady of Lourdes. He went, coached at Brewster, then he went to East Fishkill, then he was at Lady of Lourdes. So he's actually this year would be his last year of being a head coach. I don't know if he's going to be assistant someplace, but he's still been coaching even from that.
And a very well-respected coach.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is just a little bit of the information here. I like how they used to give the heights and the weights, like what your average was. I don't think they do that anymore, but that is so cool because they kind of got a sense of how big everyone was as a whole. But this is your 3rd bowl appearance at this point, so obviously a big game. I love the fact that they do this, too. It's so cool.
Tommy really got 5'10" down for us,
I was going to say, I think those are a little inflated because I was playing left guard.
You were a little undersized, Tom?
Yeah.
And I still am.
Well, let me tell you, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but when they start running left a little bit later on in this game, I'm sure you're a big reason for it because you guys are smashing them. All right, so 3rd and a long way to go here. Too many good plays. Fred gets a little time, gets it up to Delvecchio, and just misses.
Good dive for that ball.
A little far. Another punt. This one's a pretty good one. Good tackle there by 64. Again, Brewster seems to have somewhat good field positions. Looks like it's at midfield. Need another big defensive stop. Score is still 7-0. They'll toss this way. I think that's Fotiadis. Very nice tackle there. Walsh and Fotiadis again.
You guys see Mr. Zumar doing the chains in the back?
Oh, let's see if we can get him.
He was on that last play.
Mr. Z.
What a sweet tackle right there, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I tell you, you guys' defensive line, just every play a defensive lineman's making a play. I've never seen anything like it. Our defensive linemen now just try and open it up for our linebackers.
Oh, come on, Fudd.
Let's go back to this. This is good pressure by Phil, but Doug Esposito almost has a pick, so let's watch it.
So Tusillo brings the club up. He already has one touchdown pass in the books. Looks to throw again. Rushes on. Gets it away down the sidelines. Is it incomplete? It was intercepted, but Eastchester couldn't keep it in bounds.
And he was out of bounds when he picked that ball off, John. But,
Nick Iannone was the one who caught it, but he wasn't.
I think they said it was Iannone, but I think it was Doug Esposito. I think he intercepted it, but was just out of bounds there. Could have been a huge turn of events for you guys, but he did catch it out of bounds. Forcing a third down, try and run up the middle, and that's 62. Is that you, Demarco?
That is me.
Right there, right in the good position. So this is them trying to sneak a little inside handoff on a third down. You guys are there. Defense is doing its job now. 2-3 drives in a row. You forced a 3-and-out or a quick turnover. And kicked to Delvecchio. Now, I'm not sure what happens here. There's a penalty, so they got to punt again. So they decide to punt again. Couldn't tell you what the penalty was, but big change of events here. So let's go back. Sorry, I meant to unmute this one. So after the penalty, they're going to punt again, and then some kind of craziness happens. Let's watch.
Galanzia will set it up once again. High snap. He fumbles it, and he's not able to get the kick away. Down he goes. So a bad snap and a penalty marker down. Also,
who's 64? You guys remember?
It was John Cuccinello.
Big play by John Cuccinello.
Yeah. He was our special teams captain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he makes a big play there. Now, there's this weird kind of penalty that the ref gives here to, I'm not sure his number, 70-something. I think it's a late hit.
Yeah, it's a late hit.
It seemed like he just kind of like bumped into him by accident. So this could have gave you guys field position inside their 40, but it's going to kind of push that. I love his intensity, 64. That's awesome. All right, so you guys finally, for the first time, get some good field position. You're in plus territory. And probably under 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. You guys need a big drive. Little toss out to Iannone. Oof. Laid the stick on someone there. Big 6-yard gain. Iannone again. Good push by that right side.
You guys remember it being windy? Looks like it was windy there.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It was so cold that day.
Was it?
I do remember it being cold.
They were mocking Demarco because he was wearing shorts, and he says, "Oh, why? Is it cold?"
That's right. I saw that interview. Time, a little bit of pressure. Fred's running. Good hard run there. They're just swarming, though, Brewster. There's a lot of guys up in the box. They're almost like testing Fred to throw it down the field. And I think after missing some of the early ones, you know, they're going to keep trying to do that. But you'll get them soon. There's that punt again. I find that so cool. So this is like towards the end of the half, trying to get a little coffin corner inside the 10. Unfortunately, a touchback. And now just trying to get a defensive stop before halftime. Toss out this way. Good hit there.
Really?
I remember this specific play. I think the defensive guard, it might be you, Tom, or it may be Scampone. I'm not sure. Just comes flat down the line at 69. I think it's Scampone. Him and Pompey make a great tackle because it looked like they had a little something there. They just closed so quick. Who was running the defense at this time? Do you guys remember?
Yeah, Demarco.
Demarco's running defense.
Yep.
You guys flew around.
Pete Williams and Louis were doing the offense. Pete Williams came from Iona College.
Gotcha.
He was our guidance counselor.
Freddie, remember when he used to come in the cafeteria and write plays on the back of the trays, on the on the cardboard trays?
Trays, napkins. We get hall
Yeah.
passes, doing plays in the hallway, and I got late passes to class because we were going over offensive plays.
Right.
He had a bit of a mad scientist quality about him when he was drawing up plays, but he trusted these guys, and that's why we passed so much, because he trusted John and Nikki and Freddie so much.
Yeah. Defense again. Walsh in on tackle. Defensive line's in on the tackle. Now we got a third down. Pinto kind of blows it up a little bit. You guys rally. I mean, this is – Coach Fred's a defensive guy now, so he must be loving this. Now we just got to get the offense going a little bit. But it's tough here. Now there's less than 2 minutes. You need a big drive. And again, I just – not to get too coach-like here, but they have a good game plan. I mean, they just bring like 4 or 5 guys to where you only have 3 blockers. This is like impossible to block up against. They were unafraid.
Feels like when I'm watching it, I'm just about to, getting my set, and there's 2 guys or 3 guys right there. So I'm trying to get out of it and do something.
Yeah, and to share with you guys, now we have this probably sounds crazy, but we actually have basically it's called Huddle Sideline. We actually get plays immediately. So like back then, you don't get that information like right away. We get plays to our iPad, so we can make these adjustments. But if you're, if coaches aren't picking this up, this is something that Brewster has been trying to exploit with us. It's pretty clear. No pressure again. Dumps it down to Iannone. Oh, my goodness. Let's go back to that one. A little bit of a scary play here.
Finally gets it away. Line is doing it against the Eastchester offensive line. DiCarlo again drops back to pass, and again a heavy rush is on. Looking to throw. Finally gets it away. Iannone has it. And as he slips away from a tackle, a penalty marker goes down. The ball is loose, and Iannone able to fall back on it.
That could have been bad because with not too much time left in the second quarter here, that fumble could have really changed the field of possession and could have gave Brewster another chance to score. But Nick does get it back. You guys punted away. Good punt off. 64, nice tackle again. This is the last play of the half. All right, and just want to kind of pause and kind of ask some questions and discuss some things, try and bring it back a little bit. So first thing I noticed was one of the MVPs of this game, John Delvecchio, has no carries, no catches, maybe a tackle or 2. So, John, at this point, do you remember, like, being any bit frustrated at all? Like, you haven't gotten the ball much? It's very clear you're one of the top players on the team.
Yeah, no, I don't think really any frustration. I think just playing together as a team was really where my heart was, my mind was. I don't really ever remember thinking, oh, why am I not getting the ball, or why is so-and-so getting the ball? Not at all. We were all there together.
Gotcha. That's probably why you guys come back and win, because I know some more kids these days in this day and age would be maybe flipping out a little bit. So it's very good that you're keeping your cool. Defensive linemen, did you have a good sense of their offensive line? Do you guys feel like you're better than them at this point? Because it seems like you guys are controlling the line of scrimmage, at least on defense.
To be honest with you, I don't remember much about that, but I got to say, Fred, I'm glad you didn't fire everybody. You were running for your life the whole first half, man. Just watching it back, you were just on your butt the whole time.
And I remember at halftime being frustrated. I'm not saying I was mad. I just feel like I remember the locker room. You guys remember it was underneath the bleachers. It was all
Right.
I think Me, Joe, and Green did that commercial in there and went for the Coca-Cola. But I remember it being small and hot.
Yeah.
And I know we were frustrated. At least offensively, we felt frustrated that we couldn't get going on it. And I think that when you guys were talking about it earlier about the week of practice. I do remember it was bad. I remember Coach Lorenzo catching me in the locker room saying, you know, what you guys are doing, you have this great opportunity. You guys are not taking advantage of it. And, you know, I think the slow start frustrated us, at least on offense, on the offensive side.
And I would say, I remember Coach yelling at us, like, what's wrong with you guys? You know, you should be so hopped up. You have this opportunity and you're not taking advantage of it, that we could practice. And yeah, I think it was frustration, but I will say, you know, when John talked about playing as a team, nobody's pointing fingers. You know, nobody was saying it was anybody's fault. We just got to a slow start. And you asked about the defensive line. I think we knew we could take this. I mean, I think that's what was so frustrating. I think we were better than this, and we knew we could do better.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching film on this team and really thinking that we, you know, had a really good shot at it. I know there was a few guys on their team that we probably studied a little harder than others. But yeah, I felt like through the week, you know, we were ready, maybe not practice-wise, but I think we were ready based on what they were, you know, what they were offering to us. So,
yeah.
Hey, Coach Tony, you said something earlier about, you know, players today might have been pretty heated and, you know, animated and
yeah,
doing stuff that they see on, you know, NBC on Sundays kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this team was a team. I don't ever remember whether we had good games, bad games, or, you know, individual accomplishments on a specific play or whatever. The synergy was incredible. And I don't remember once in my 3 years at Eastchester that a player ever got in somebody else's face, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether we played good or played bad, it was a real team effort. And this is long before cell phones and internet and Twitter and, you know, the instant gratification of getting a sack and all that stuff. So we played for each other, not for the media, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's very well said, George. I mean, it's very clear watching this as someone who wasn't really a part of the game. Like, I'm like, okay, this game's about to unravel. Eastchester's about to lose by 30. But you guys don't. You guys hang very tough. You hadn't had much go for you. But the second half is a little bit of a different animal, and you guys start getting going a little bit, and it's really fun to watch. So with that being said, unless no one has anything else to add, let's just move it on to the second half. This is the fun part. And I just wanted to add the final drive will be the full in real time final drive. I want you guys to relive that experience like you were there. So let's get it back going. All right. I don't know if we'll see the stats come up here, but it's not good offensively. You know, Fred right now is like 2 of 8, you know, for like 11 yards. You know, you have under 30 yards rushing. You have like 3 sacks, you know, but defense is keeping you in it. And the defense is going to start here while Brewster gets the ball. Fairly good kick. And Billy Pompey, I don't know.
Right down at about Brewster leads these. Paul Fiat to an end. Halftime tally and more football as Brewster leads Eastchester 7-0 in the class.
Roosevelt did. They ran it 18 times, passed twice. Eastchester 14 runs and 7 passes.
So Brendan Walsh kicks it off. It's taken by Paul Fiacco, number 31, and he goes right down at about.
I gotta think that kind of gets you guys motivated a little bit. That was a monster hit, one of the biggest hits of the game by a corner. Okay, Billy Pompey just comes and lights up Brewster guy. And I think you guys take that onto defense here a little bit. Job by Delvecchio, forcing the play in. Demarco got a hand on. And you guys force a 3 and out. Pretty good field position. Esposito with a good return.
Dougie was so shifty and fast. It was really small. He was some player, though.
Yeah, he can cut on a dime. It's very clear. All right, now we get a big run to start here. Iannone running a little belly to the right side there. Some of the starters. Mentioned a lot of these names already. And there's our offensive line. Grundy was on the call. Demarco, Phil Pinto is on the call, and Tom Richter and Mike Telesco. There's Delvecchio, first carry of the game. Nice solid 5-yard run. Getting that jersey dirty. Be a lot more of 11. All right, this is what I started to see, especially from the left side of the line. We just had a big run to the right. But on the left side here, Grundy and Demarco, it looks like Walsh out over there just doing a great job, getting good push. Time a toss out. Iannone again.
Running unbalanced.
Yeah, you're running a whole bunch of funky
I
formations.
was just going to mention that.
Yeah, it looked like, let's see if we can go back. It looks like Pinto, you would sometimes go to like an outside tight end. They'd bring some other guys in. I'm not sure.
I would either one of the tackles, either myself or Andrew would switch over, going either unbalanced left or right.
Yeah, it looks like
They ran to the short side there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
good hole there, but a penalty. Looked like Nick had a little room. Now we throw it just a bit off. That was to Esposito. Oh, sorry about that. So it looked like you got a little bit more time here, Fred. Just kind of missed it.
Yeah, I look like crap.
It's amazing what pressure does.
Yeah, I should be get a completion here at least.
Yeah. Good block there by Demarco. You guys are moving a little bit better now. Looks like it may be coming another pass here. This is tough. I think there's a fourth down, actually, when the cameraman goes down. But, again, they're just bringing a ton of guys. They basically are saying we're going to bring more than you can handle sort of thing. And it's tough. And I was saying to Fred, guys, that their coach runs still a very similar defense at Our Lady of Lourdes. We played him like 4 or 5 years ago. He does a lot of the same stuff, and it's tough to play against. He has a very good scheme. Coach Brian Walsh from Brewster. All right, so fourth down, you guys got some completions there. Excuse me, you guys got some first downs. Give it right back. They're trying that toss again to the left. Pinto does a very good job forcing it in and making the tackle. And, oh, my God. 69 is who again? Scampone?
Yeah, he was a beast.
Oh, my goodness. He only finishes with 4 tackles, but I've already noticed him making 2 monster hits. They keep trying that inside run against this D-line. It's not there. I don't even know who makes that tackle, but it seemed like the entire defensive line. That toss again. This time Pinto makes the tackle. They ran toss left for in the first play of the game, like the second series for 18 yards, and they haven't gotten much since then. They've been very, very good about that. Try 12 running. Came up and hit. Looked like he got enough.
Yeah, remember back in the day, Tony, George and Fudd at defensive end were big. I mean, they were big. You know, they're big now, but they were big back then, for sure.
Well, they're trying to get a little speed to the outside, but now you guys are doing a great job just containing it, and it starts to be a little bit of a thing. But it's just amazing how they just get this great field position again. This got to be frustrating at this point. You know, now it's tough. You haven't scored. You haven't moved the ball that well. Now you got to go 97 yards. I think we're going to get a little bit of a break as a team. I'm going to unmute it. Let's see if this is it.
Turf flat, bounced straight up in the air, and Brewster able to down it at the
Game where you cannot make a turnover.
Who's up there today? Ron Valley manning the blimp today. Iannone again with the call, and he'll be
Not that one, but watch closely.
after this. We're not going to let Ron down either.
Oh, tough break.
And a penalty marker goes down before the play develops, and it looks like at the 5-yard line. So big call here for the Eagles, 3rd and 8. Pitch comes to Iannone. He's able to grab it in, but he's not going to go much farther. The ball comes loose. No.
Did you guys see what happened? I'll play it again.
That was a fumble. He loses it real quick. Right now, there he goes. It's on the ground.
So this is a real interesting situation because the refs blow it dead, and this is pretty clearly a fumble. I'm not going to ask if you guys remember this play because maybe some of you do, maybe Tom does, but this is one of those breaks that, if we don't get, it could be a big difference in the game here.
I think I blocked that one out of my memory, Tony.
That was not a fumble. That was not a fumble.
Hey, the ref said it wasn't a fumble. They must be correct. But something so interesting is going to happen a couple plays after this that was almost like karma. I don't even know what to call it. But you guys are punting back from your own end zone, and guys get a good bounce. Yeah. Dougie's getting his work in, or Iannone, whoever the punter was.
That was Dougie and Iannone before that, so I don't know what happened.
Nick might need a little break. His right leg might be hurting. A lot of punts. All right, so now they got great field position. This is a big drive for Brewster. It's an even bigger drive for your defense. They try that toss again, and I don't know. You guys are just figured it out. Delvecchio, I think this is Pinto over there, is forcing it in. Walsh and company cleaning it up. Now you guys are getting pressure. Okay, this is the play. Let's go back. I'm sorry, guys. Remember it. This is something by Delvecchio. So
that was taken.
Number 31 and
taken.
100%. Let's watch
Dillo
it.
brings the club up. 2nd and 10. Looks to throw. Pressure is on, and down he goes. John Delvecchio has the football, but I think they're going to call it dead.
All right, John, you said it was taken. I tend to agree. Do you remember anything like when you started running with the ball and the refs blew the whistle here?
Yeah, disappointed. I thought that it was clean. I also thought and remember that I think I was going to turn around and give it to the guy following me. I mean, you might argue that I wasn't, but I really, really was thinking that. We had so much room with nobody there. Who was that?
Looks like
Mike Scanlon.
Scanlon?
Yes.
I always thought I always thought Fuddy was following me, but honestly really thought that was a clean grab.
I think you're 100% right. But I talked about the karma before. It almost seems like, the refs missed one, with Iannone fumbling, and now it was like a makeup call. I mean, that is, as far as I'm concerned, that's a strip and return back for a touchdown. This game should be tied. That had to hurt. That certainly had to have hurt. But you guys, don't let it deter you.
No.
Try toss to the right. 54 running it down. I believe that's
Let's go.
Yeah, the junior. Nice play by the linebacker. All right, so we're in the 4th quarter.
Thank God. Jeez.
Time's ticking. This is the fun stuff. This is what we're waiting for. All right. So we start out, Walsh at tight end. Fred pitches it out to Delvecchio. Good hard run. Positive play for about 3 yards. Delvecchio again. I think coach has said, this is a hysterical drive, John, because we're just going to keep calling your name. Fred drops back, a little bit better time. Delvecchio again. That's 3 in a row. I'd be coming out of the game now, John.
I remember none of this, Tony.
Well, guess what, John?
Getting the ball again.
Getting the ball again. Unbelievable. So after not touching the ball the first half, they give it to you 4 straight plays. And I think this is funny. Just watch. I think you just come running off the field.
On the other way, he was looking to open some up, so he lost about 3 yards after making the reception.
You just start running off the field. Makes sense. All right, we guys are moving it pretty good here. Toss out to Iannone. Good physical run. All right, now you guys are moving it. I'm not sure if this is the one, but big play's coming up soon.
In the game against Rye. That really put him in there. They give Iannone again the football as he tries to go straight up the middle. Brewster equal to that task. It's going to 2 yards. You may think that Brewster's a little suspect for the pass at this point.
And it opens up your run, as we mentioned earlier. See what happens here.
DiCarlo again, rolling out, throws down the sidelines. Brendan Walsh has the football, and he goes out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Fred, were you almost at this point, like, finally?
No, I tell you, I think the slant to John on the first pass, I think I could breathe a sigh of relief. I don't know. I think I just feel like the weight of my shoulder, the weight of the world came off my shoulders on that one pass. I know this pass wasn't pretty. I remember coming out of my hands, but it got the job done.
Yeah, it's a great catch by Walsh up the sideline. This brings you inside the goal line here. Protection's a little bit better. Your guys' confidence is a little bit better. And
was a bootleg, Tony? I think was that a bootleg?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They get a little pressure, but I think Fred's able to step up and evade it and step up into this throw coming up shortly. Yeah, that looks like you pulling, Tom. Walsh is a big guy. I mean, he looks like he's like 6 foot at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a big guy.
Yeah, big target.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are inside the goal line now, which you guys haven't been inside the red zone yet, so I'm sure that felt good. Probably about 8 minutes left in the game, so let's see these next 2 plays here.
Completion. Iannone gets the call, head to the outside, and he goes down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they're controlling the offense.
They're not in yet. DiCarlo with a 2nd and goal from the 1. Iannone with the call. Lowers his head. He's in. Great second effort by Nick Iannone with a 2-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles now trail by a point.
So what a drive. First off, John gets a lot of touches early on, gets the ball kind of moving. Offensive line gets going. Nick Iannone gets going. And then Walsh with the big catch by Fred to get you inside the goal line there. Do you guys remember anything about that drive or about just kind of getting within his touchdown here? I'm sure it felt like the weight lifted off your guys' shoulders.
I just remember it wasn't from. I know you guys remember it the same way, but it wasn't even a question that we were gonna go for 2. You know, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't so tough for you guys. So yeah, do we kick the extra point here? Do we go for 2? And you guys decide to go for 2. We'll let the 2-point conversion play out. It's a good one. It's a close one, but Brewster's gonna make a big play.
Okay, John, what do we do? Let's guard 9-play drive, John, and they went 85 yards.
Okay. Here is a big play. Eastchester going for the lead from the 3-yard line. DiCarlo, the quarterback. Iannone, the lone setback. DiCarlo trying to pull him off sides. It's a naked bootleg to the far side of the field. DiCarlo won't get in. He lost the football. It went out of bounds. And DiCarlo did not get in the end zone.
So the camera kind of loses it there. It looks like maybe, Fred, you were reaching out to the pylon, but still might have been that you were going to be short. Do you remember anything about that play?
I remember I think we were hitting, I don't know if it was Brucow, I'm sorry. Brendan, tight end.
Yeah.
And on the boot, and he wasn't open, so I was just trying to make something out of it, or trying to get a light open. You could see it was pretty much covered. Nicky was the next option, and it just wasn't there. I wasn't close. I think I was out of bounds before.
Right. All right, so yeah, I think Tom was right. You can't fault Coach for going for 2 there. Guys ended up a little short. There's still plenty of time left in the game, 8 minutes or so. So now you got to rely on the defense, which is honestly just done a great job since the second drive. So shouldn't be too much of an issue. Good swarming kickoff tackle there. There's a replay. Yeah, this play comes quick. They try and do an inside handoff. Fotiadis with the tackle there. Second down coming. Oh, my goodness. Fred, that was you? What a hit.
That's the
Nice.
best of my
Nice
career.
pick.
You got to slow-mo that. You don't see it too often.
I will slow-mo that for the Instagram. My goodness. I didn't realize that was you.
Yeah.
Well, they finally get an inside handoff to go through, and I guess Fred had enough of the D-line making tackles, so.
I remember after the hit, I had a mouthful of dirt, and I came out of the game, and Billy Giraldi and Joey Lucci came up to me because they thought I hurt my shoulder, and I had my whole mouthpiece was full of the dust and dirt. I had to come out.
Yeah, you're in a cloud of dust right there. I'm not so surprised. Walsh in on the tackle with the slew of defensive linemen. Look like Fotiadis again. I'd say they did get a first down. Try the toss again. Telesco, great tackle. Pinto cleaning it up. Third down, they try a toss again. There was a bad angle. I guess they didn't throw the ball too often, Brewster, because it seemed like every third and long or so, they just decided to run it, keep it safe, and play some defense.
Tony, as I'm watching it now, earlier I thought they were throwing screens, but I'm realizing it was that toss that they kept.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They loved it. I think I think you guys were big. I think you guys were physical, and I think they realized the way they're going to maybe run the ball was on the edge. But you guys did a great job stopping that too. So this is not the drive, boys, but this is a potentially big play coming up soon. So it's about 5 minutes left in the game now. Time pitched it out to, I think that's Junior Boyer. It's a good modest gain. Big sack. So now we put ourselves in a third and long. So I'm going to unmute this play here. This is a big one.
Third down and 15. DiCarlo straight back. Everybody's coming in. Here's the throw. Incomplete. John Delvecchio, the intended receiver.
All right, so just kind of missing John across the middle there. Put yourselves in a fourth down. Now, do you guys remember this situation? Because there's still at this point about 3 minutes left in the game. You're down one. Do you punt? Do you go for it? Do you guys remember any particular point of this conversation? Or was it pretty well known that you guys were going to go for this?
It was known we were going for it.
Okay.
I don't think there was any question in my mind that we were at the time. I think we didn't have a great kicking game. And back then, we trusted our defense, but we also trusted our offense, I think, a little bit more than our defense at that point.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a big fourth down play that is exciting to say the least. Let's take a look.
And DiCarlo, it looked like he had to get the pass away. And it looks like the Eagles are going to go for it on fourth down. A 4th and 15. This may be the ball game right here. DiCarlo with receivers all over the field. Drops straight back to pass. Another big rush is on as he rolls out. Lets it fly down the field. He has the receiver open. It's incomplete. Doug Esposito was wide open at the 30-yard line.
Did you guys think the game was over?
Never.
I don't think so. No.
No. I mean,
Oh,
you might not believe us, but no. I never.
Guys.
Still time on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, no. Right? I remember being in the huddle. Like, no.
Right.
I tell you, when we got the ball back with the minute 8, we were in the huddle, and it was no other option in our mind but to go down and score.
Freddie, I think we had a discussion years ago that you thought I don't know how to word it, but like this is the one you really wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of my better throws. Going from my left side, throwing it. I wasn't as confident what these guys are saying that the game wasn't over. I thought I'd just blow it, but I didn't think 100% it was over. But I'm 50-50 right at the moment. I needed that throw back. If I can have one throw in my high school career, that's the one I want back.
Right. I gotta say, just it's so telling because I know you're the quarterback on this play. It's probably you probably feel like you lose the game sort of thing, but it's amazing how even 37 years from now, from this play, your team still had confidence in you, and I think that's so amazing. I think that's why you guys pull back and win this game because your team didn't get down on each other. It's awesome to hear that you guys still had confidence you're going to win this game because I'm like watching this game. I'm like, this game's over. They're going to run out the clock and you can't go, 80 yards in a minute. So credit to you guys. You guys make it happen. All right, so we're going to do a lot of this just unmuted because I think the announcer and the fans and everything just sounds great. So we'll watch every play by play and break it down.
What sideline he's going to. Right now, it looks like he'll be heading across the field to Brewster's. They lead 7-6. Eastchester able to get back on sides. They give the football to Delvecchio, and he gets it up to the 25-yard line.
Even the announcer's basically like, yeah, we're probably going to send our sideline reporter to the other side of Brewster. Even they're kind of like calling it over. But defensive pressure is pretty good there. Gets it to a 2nd and 7.
And Brewster is just going to be hired to do, get him to a bowl game. Right now, he's looking to win that one. The Eagles at 1-1 in bowl appearances. We're going to have a penalty mark. I believe this is going to go against Brewster. It looks like they jumped offside.
That was big.
Coach Demarco saying pop pass. They threw one pass the whole entire game. They're going to throw a pop pass in the last 1 minute of the game.
You know how it is, Fred.
That's a defensive coach right there.
You got to be worried about everything at this point.
Fine.
2nd down and 12.
Jim Trusillo with the call. Gives the football to his first back through, number 33, Rich DiVenuto. And DiVenuto maybe gets 2 yards back. Yep, right here.
Okay, so we have a 3rd down. You guys use another timeout. I think you guys have one left remaining at this point, probably like 1:30 left in the game.
We get a huge spot here. Huge. We got a nice spot here.
Let's take a look at this one and break it down.
Memorial Field. Here comes the 3rd down and 10 now for the Bears. The ball at the Eastchester 28. Delvecchio gets the call. He runs up the middle, and he has a 1st down. And if it is indeed good for the 1st down, that's going to be all she wrote.
All right, so Fred, you kind of said that, he probably got the 1st down. It's close. It's really close. Let's watch it again.
It's close.
This rep here to the top of the screen kind of comes sprinting up and gets a spot a little bit short. It looks like his knee might have just been down. And gives you guys a favorable spot for a 4th and 1, which sets up, the play for the season, play for the bowl championship. And
I'm going to speak on this.
Yeah.
Coach Demarco gave me no credit for this play. He says I didn't make the tackle on this play. I remember it out of high school. But I'm up on the top of the screen. I was playing safety, and I just kind of improvised knowing that they were running to that side every single time. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to take the chance to come up because I'm not supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be in the middle of the field. And I guess this is where defensive knowledge came in for over the years.
Yeah, you play with some good instincts. Now, something weird happened right here. So let's take a look at this. You see that tight end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We point at him, too. I think it's Fudd and I'm not sure.
Salt away the championship.
Or that's John. Yeah.
It should be a false start, but
yeah.
Good thing it doesn't because here comes the big 4th down stop we needed.
And we got a couple of motion on the line, no penalty. Delvecchio gets the call, and I don't think he got the 1st down.
All right, so Nick Iannone, Fred DiCarlo, a couple others clean it up here. But you guys stop him without a doubt. So this is the play they ran previously. You guys do a great job stopping it. Good pressure. You guys get him short. So to set the stage here, boys, I think you guys have under a minute 20, maybe a minute 15. You have no timeouts. And you got to go just about 81 yards.
And we've never kicked a field goal, ever.
Yeah, so you need a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was even in the plans ever.
All right, we'll break it down play by play. I got to say, I don't even think it gets off to a particularly great start, so let's see.
About 10 seconds. We're under a minute to play. DiCarlo drops back to pass. Looks down the field, throws, and it is out of bounds.
All right, so one thing I think we should mention is Coach Demarco, Coach Williams, Coach DiRienzo make a good decision on this drive, I think. They're going to keep 2 running backs in to block. And this is going to give Fred a little bit more time here to throw. Offensive line picks up, and even though we don't get a completion there, a good little coaching adjustment on this drive that makes a big difference.
The Brewster bench. So that does stop the clock with 48 seconds left to go. And it'll be 2nd down and 10, but Eastchester not really worried about picking up any first downs here. They're going to have to go for the whole bundle. Well, the Eagles will bring the club out. We have John Delvecchio split to the near side. Esposito to the top of the screen. Bears have gotten to DiCarlo 5 times today. Throw across the middle. Incomplete. Doug Esposito had it, but just couldn't hold on.
A great throw there to Esposito. Unfortunately, he doesn't hang on. They have a 3rd down and long coming.
I remember Dougie coming back into the huddle saying, "Don't throw me the ball, I stink." That's the PG version of what he said. He comes with his hands yelling at me, "Don't throw me the ball anymore, don't throw me the ball anymore."
Interesting you say that. But you still have confidence in him. You know how fast he is, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I think it was either John or Dougie at that point. We were keeping almost everybody in. So I don't think we had much choice. We were going to where we were throwing to either one of the two.
Gotcha.
I think John's telling Coach Williams over here what play we should be running next.
All right, well, 3rd down and 10 to go. Got a pretty big one coming.
Now they'll bring Delvecchio and Esposito to this side of the field. Iannone and Boyer are the backs behind DiCarlo. Again, drops straight back. Big rush is on. Gets the pass away, and it is completed to Esposito. And he cuts to the outside. He's not able to get out of bounds, but that'll stop the clock as...
Okay. First off, what a pass. What a
to this
pass.
side of the...
Second, Esposito, the guy that just dropped it, makes an even bigger play here. So that's your team in a nutshell. Just having confidence in each other, clearly. Fred, did you
I'm not sure if I even saw Dougie at the time. I probably knew he was in the area and just threw the ball up because I don't know how I could get this pass off.
I'm not sure either. Oh, my goodness. So that's a huge completion. In high school, this stops the clock. And, until the 1st down. So you guys are coming up to spike it.
John, do you remember this?
I do.
I threw John the ball. I was supposed to throw the ball out of bounds. We didn't have spike back then. You couldn't spike the ball. So I was just throwing the ball, supposed to throw the ball out of bounds. We ended up getting a 5-yard gain. And you see John's waving his arms to me like, what the hell you just do?
I remember catching it going, was I supposed to do that?
No, yeah. Why were you supposed to throw the ball out of bounds?
You know what's unbelievable, too? And, I don't think anyone's covering over here. Everyone knows you're just throwing it out of bounds, but this is bizarre.
DiCarlo looking to throw, gets it to Delvecchio, and Delvecchio is able to get out of bounds to stop.
Hey, every bit helps.
Yeah. It was a big 5 yards.
Yeah. So right now there's under a minute left in the game. No timeout still. I mean, without a field goal kicker, there's still a pretty tough task.
Yards on the pass completion, but again, more importantly, the clock is stopped, and it gives Eastchester a chance to regroup in the offensive huddle and set up a play. 28 seconds to go. They have Brendan Walsh as the place kicker who can hit a field goal. I believe his range is between 30 and 35 yards, so they've got to go about another 20. So they'll set up a field goal. DiCarlo throws across the middle, incomplete, but a penalty marker is down.
Can't see it. That was interference. It doesn't. You don't have a great angle of it, but it was definitely interference.
What did he do? It almost looks like he just kind of jumps the route, sort of thing. He knocks Dougie off the route.
Yeah, he knocked. I think it was Dougie, right? I think he knocks Dougie off the route prior to the ball coming.
Yeah.
And Dougie was pointing right away.
Yeah, because from the angle, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we got a call, but you guys obviously had the better view. This time, Boyer, Iannone stay in. Walsh stays in. Yeah, it almost looks like, there's only 3 receivers into the route here. I mean, it's just, getting protection, which you guys are doing a much better job. Great adjustment by the coaches to kind of do that. This is a big 15 yards. Now there's only like 30 seconds left in the game. But you guys are within 30 yards now.
Ball inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now from here, there would be about a 35-yard field goal. So they may be within Brendan Walsh's range. DiCarlo calling the set. Drops back, now rolls out, throws towards the sidelines. No one is there. It's incomplete. And I'll tell you, DiCarlo, very fortunate in not having that one picked off. The only guy in sight was Rich Kuchler of Brewster.
All right, so I want to just go back to this play quick because I just want to point something out. This was the pressure they were doing earlier in the game. They're having some success on, bringing 4 guys to where we only have a couple blockers. And the reason why I'm showing this is this pressure is going to become apparent in a couple plays from now. Fred just kind of throwing this one away, which is good because you take a sack there, the game's probably over.
One picked off. The only guy in sight was Rich Kuchler of Brewster. And I thought for a second we were going to hear about how many more yards they needed before Walsh would be able to see if he can kick one through the uprights. Right now the ball is at the 19-yard line. It would be about a 36-yard field goal attempt from where the ball is right now. But we have 18 seconds left to go. Delvecchio, Bianchi, and Esposito all split out wide to this side. DiCarlo, big rush, throws across the middle, incomplete. Bianchi, the intended receiver.
That was a dumb play.
Yeah, because he gets sacked at the
ball
down.
here. Yeah. We catch the ball in the middle. We have no timeout.
Clock is stopped again.
All right. So we got about 12 seconds left here in the game.
I would imagine what might happen here. I'll tell you, though, if Eastchester completes a pass in the middle of the field and unable to stop the clock, they'll have no time to get the field goal unit out.
All right, so let's pause. Let's have a little discussion first before we see this particular play. So we can confirm field goal is not an option at this point because I was always kind of curious of that.
Most definitely not an option.
Okay. So I'll just ask any of you guys, do you remember the name of this play? Do you remember what it was called? Do you remember anything about this play walking up to the line? Because there's only 12 seconds left in this game.
John, you don't know. It was some sort of combo, right? We had
there were. I mean, he used to use all those letters A, B, X, Y. I don't remember the play, but with the 3 of us out on the side, I knew we were going to be doing like just crossing patterns and things like that.
Yeah.
Tony, Pete Williams had numerous combination patterns, and he brought like an Iona College offense to our passing game.
Right.
So I can't remember what it was either, but we had so many different combinations on the trips formation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he had this held in his back pocket for the last play.
Before we run it, my offensive linemen, Grundy, Fotiadis, Tom, Pinto. I mean, what are you guys thinking anything at this point besides just, don't let up the big sack or anything along those lines? We always talk to the big skill guys, but you guys have just as important of a play here as our skill guy.
I don't know, man. Just do your job. That's what we're there for.
That's it. Stay in your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Block and Freddie will get it to John. I mean, it was
Exactly.
simple. Like they're talking about all these complicated X and Y's. It was okay, we got a pass block. We got a pass block, and like I said, we had so much confidence in their abilities. The passing game they came up with that year was just amazing. So yeah, it was just pass block instead of run block.
If I remember right, I don't think I was on the field for this play. I was on the sideline. And this play I'll never forget. If you look at the bottom right screen,
Yep.
I lost my mind when John caught the
Never
ball.
gets old.
I mean, I'll remember this play until I'm gone. It's something that was amazing. And unfortunately, I wasn't on the field for it, but I was there in spirit. Trust me.
Let's watch it, guys. This is just legendary. Enjoy. We'll come back to it.
So they are going to try to put it away here with the touchdown. DiCarlo, back to throw. Big rush his arm, puts it up into the end zone. Complete touchdown! John Delvecchio is the man at the bottom of the pile. And Eastchester is taking the lead with just 9 seconds left to play. Here it is again. Fred DiCarlo, what a great pass this is. Under heavy pressure into the end zone, a super catch by Delvecchio. And the Eagles, with just 9 seconds left in the ball game, now lead Brewster by a score of 12-7.
All right, so before we go in to the breakdown of the play, because I definitely want to look at it again, besides just going crazy, do you guys remember anything specifically, some of the feelings? I know it's something you guys don't forget, but just anything about the play, because it was something between the pass, the catch, the celebration. It was just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know if I have any remembering of the feel, but I know when we lined up, I had pretty good faith in Freddie, that he's going to get the ball out there. I think I remember that guy passing in front of me like that.
Right.
And just kind of putting my arms out. And I do remember a little bit of Bianchi just grabbing me by the neck and taking me down. And then from there, it was just a blur.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he almost kills you. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, it happened honestly so fast from the point in which the ball was snapped to everything happening like that. You know, I've watched this thing a dozen times, and every time I look at it, I just think it was probably one of the best passes ever.
Yeah. John, do you remember being the number one target on this play, or was it just like a regular call play and you just kind of didn't know if it was coming to you or not? Or did you know?
Yeah, no, I think it was, it wasn't – I don't think it was intentional to me or called out or anything. It was just a normal play. Everybody running their patterns and just trying to get open.
Yeah.
I don't think Bianchi was supposed to do what he did. He started to go upfield, but I think the intent was to get it to John.
Right.
In my end, I felt like the ball was up there forever. It was like slow motion. And then I never get to that pile because Billy Giraldi and Joey Lucci come and tackle me in the middle of the field.
That's
so
awesome.
I never did that back pile. The other two coaches came and tackled me. So, I mean, it was just some feeling.
I remember I couldn't see what happened. I remember Fudd, you're jumping. I remember seeing you jump. That's how I knew what happened, was you jumping up and down in the air, because I was still on my block over here.
Yeah, there's 74 right there. Look at
right
him.
there. I remember him jumping.
Awesome.
And then I grabbed Brendan Walsh. I needed somebody to celebrate with.
That is exactly how I knew what happened, was Fudd jumping up and down. That's my most vivid memory.
Oh, my goodness. That's unbelievable. Now, just again, going back to the scheme of it all, again, they're bringing that overload pressure, and I'm just we don't have enough blockers. I'm looking at it from a coach's standpoint, but the throw Fred makes, with two guys in his face, basically, I mean, it's just an unbelievable throw and an unbelievable catch, and it was just so much fun. I wasn't there, I wasn't born, but it looks like it's just an unreal moment. And to do it on a conference championship winner was just unbelievable.
Yeah, my palms are still sweating now.
Yeah, me too.
Tony, you can see from being with us tonight how close we all are. In many ways, even though we haven't seen each other, we still feel it, and you can imagine that made it so much more special. In the moment, it was amazing.
You can't fake your guys' celebration and reaction. You don't do this when you don't care. I mean, you guys are just like little kids. I mean, I'm sure watching this, brings back so many great memories and stuff. And, it's awesome to see. And this is, why I want, the younger generations and everyone to see all this stuff. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, just so happy.
As Fudd said it, there was just, 22 of us at a time or whatever the low number is. I mean, the sidelines has some JV guys for this game that we brought up. But for the most part, there was 22. And I think one of the Nanuet games early in the year, Fudd got hurt. I think we were playing with 18 at halftime.
Yeah.
And then Chris Brussetti's dad passed away doing the chains behind the bus.
Oh, my goodness.
And died actually on the field.
Oh, my goodness.
We just went through a lot with a small number of people. So I think it just translates to the end of the game here, how much we enjoyed being with each other.
Yeah, that's so clear. So the game's not over. I mean, you still got to do an extra point. You guys get a penalty. Not enough men on the field. I don't think anyone could blame anyone for that. But it's 12-7 at this point. Extra point. There's only about 5 or 6 seconds left in the game.
With under a minute to go, and they run it down the field to Carlo, to Delvecchio, and it looks like Eastchester is going to win this one. Brendan Walsh will set the extra point. Ball will be at the 15-yard line, and it is a good-looking kick. It is good.
So the way he kicked that extra point made me think maybe they kicked field goals earlier because he banged the extra point from 5 yards back. But you guys go up 13-7. You still have a kickoff. There's a little drama on this kickoff. So we'll take a look at when this comes up shortly. There's definitely a little drama on this kickoff, so we'll get there.
The most dominant back in today's Section 1 game. What a throw to Delvecchio. And as you watch, Bedlam broke out here at Memorial Field. That's probably the best tackle of the day right there.
Who was the coach?
That was Lorenzo. That was Louis.
That was Louis.
He was all the way out there already.
He was probably spitting some dip on your face and screaming at you.
I love that. As a young John Delvecchio, look at you there.
Yeah. Hasn't changed a bit.
The lightweight.
Lightweight with a big time play.
That's awesome.
That's so nice to see. I love the sideline there. Great stuff.
A lot of those guys were volunteering coachmen at the time. Joey Lucci, nice. Billy Giraldi, Peter Archiello. We don't do that anymore, but back then we were allowed to. So we had quite a few volunteer coaches.
That's awesome.
To our alumni went from me to or at Eastchester.
Those guys were great. I think we all looked up to them as well.
Yeah.
I remember watching Giraldi play when I was much younger.
Yeah. That's so important, seeing, watching, younger kids watching older guys play, and then they kind of come back. I'm sure that meant a lot, and it's really awesome. I remember the guys I looked up to when I played too. This is really kind of interesting. So let's take a look here.
Eastchester is going to beat Brewster with 9 seconds to play. I'll tell you, this is going to go down as the year that was. It is a squibber of a kick. It's fielded by number 30, Kevin McNeil. He throws it back to this side of the field. Kutzler, couple of backs, couple little room open, but a great defensive play made by number 36, Chris Tito, who was the only.
Who is Chris Tito?
He was an underclassman. What was he, a junior, guys?
Yeah. He was junior.
Yeah, he didn't play much. He was on a lot of special teams. And this was a real athlete. Really bailed us out here.
This is unbelievable. I mean, there's like no one there besides him. This could have been huge. I mean, it was such a good play. And for a guy that doesn't play much to make that play was so huge.
That was phenomenal.
such a phenomenal play. And, I'm thinking Music City Miracle, Tennessee Titans. And I'm like, wait, no, this is like 15 years before that. They had a play drawn up that, became a very famous play. But I guess it's for naught. I guess it ended up being a block in the back or maybe a legal forward lateral. So.
Yeah, it was a forward pass.
Okay. It would have been for naught, but great play by Tito there. That was something. And let's just watch the final play.
Taken by Brewster. They have 2 more remaining, but they only have chance for 1 more play. And Eastchester is going to bring in about 7 defensive backs. And I'll tell you, they'll give anything up to about the 1-yard line. Just an incredible ball game. Eastchester with an 81-yard drive. And with less than a minute to play, it culminated with the 19-yard touchdown pass, Freddie DiCarlo to John Delvecchio. And Freddie DiCarlo has been named one of our most valuable players in today's game by the Westchester Football Coaches Association. And Carl Marinaccio, the most valuable lineman in today's ball game. So our congratulations to both of those gentlemen, and also to the Brewster Bears, who played their hearts out. As you look at Brian Walsh, their head coach, talking with the offense, they will have 1 more shot at it. 2 seconds left to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defensive backs for the Eagles. Now remember, the game cannot end on a penalty. So should Eastchester be called for pass interference, they'll mark off 15 yards from the line of scrimmage and give Brewster another opportunity. But here we go. Last play of the ball game, possibly. DeCillo throws to the sidelines, and it's picked up by Esposito. He gets to the sidelines. The ball game is over. And the Eastchester Eagles have defeated Brewster 13-7 and are the Class B1 champions here at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon.
Looked like a hook and ladder was coming, but, Esposito was there and ended up picking it off and, winning the game here. So before I get to John Diarco's interview, which we definitely want to watch before we start wrapping up here, any final thoughts on this particular game and, what it meant for you guys towards the, because you guys just win a bowl championship, you're conference champions. So what was next for you guys at this point?
Enjoy.
Yeah, I think the next day I went to visit some colleges. I wasn't even in school.
It's like business as
But,
usual.
Tony, the thought here, though, and I think it was mentioned earlier, for us, I think it was a brotherhood. It goes all the way back to playing Pee Wee football to junior, JV, and we went through a lot, a lot of great seasons and stuff like that, but it was just building blocks. So it really wasn't any one play or anything like that, or just this one game. Everything really built upon, one brick after another. And I think that our bond as teammates and friends is really what really got us here. So it was really, really special.
Very well said. It was clearly.
To piggyback on that, Tone, we our JV, we were undefeated and unscored upon. We gave up 1 touchdown on an offensive fumble in our JV year, and we all played together. I think Fudd was on varsity, I think, when we were on JV, if I'm not mistaken. But as John said, the bonds that were there, I mean, even to this, going to the prom together in the same limousine, we were in, best men in each other's wedding parties. We were in wedding parties. I mean, we're just, by a phone call through this, we got 6 or 7 people onto the call. We might not see each other all the time, but I don't think that bond will ever change in what we went through.
Yeah, for sure.
Said Fred. Amen. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Absolutely.
Cheers to that. All right, so I guess I'll play the interview with Diarco because I know John wasn't able to make it on here, but obviously we'll play the interview. We'll look at the final box score, and then we'll give some closing thoughts and start wrapping it up.
they ever saw. Great conclusion. We're not going to see that again. Well, it happened today. Your team has the ball with no timeouts left and goes all the way down the field. What are you feeling right now?
Very excited, very happy for the team. I think our offensive coordinators, Coach Lou Dorenzo and Pete Williams up in the booth, did an excellent job engineering that drive with no timeouts. And this is typical of Eastchester football. We've had our backs to the wall all year, and seems like it's a storybook ending.
On the offensive side, what did you discuss at halftime? Because you had a lot of trouble in the first half, and except for one drive in the second half, you moved the ball pretty well all the time that you had the ball. What was the difference?
Well, I'm going to be honest. We had a very poor week of practice, probably our worst week all year, and we lost our poise, our cool out there. We were a little disorganized, and I just calmly told the guys that the way they were playing, they weren't representing the league and themselves. They weren't doing justice. We just calmly went over our blocking assignments and, blocking and tackling. That's it.
The defense, on the other hand, strong the whole game. The one Brewster touchdown came after they had the ball at the 33-yard line. Good field position for them. Your defense played well all year and has lived up to that reputation today.
Yeah, we come to play. We live and die with the defense. There's no doubt about it. We hit.
They come over to join.
Yeah, I'm afraid these guys are going to mug me.
One final question I got to ask you here. Why the shorts today? I'm freezing. You're standing here in shorts.
Why, is it cold?
It's cold out here. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
And, John, that'll do it for this interview down here with Eastchester head coach John Demarco. Eastchester.
That's George in the background there, I think, right?
Yeah, that's George.
Yeah, a younger version for sure.
Yeah.
So here's your final box score. Obviously not a lot of scoring early on, but you guys come roaring back to win 13-7. Freddie, you finished 8 for 21, 154 yards and a touchdown, but that was after a 2 for 9 start. So you do the math, you ended up finishing a lot better. Nick Iannone on the ground, 16 carries, 66 yards, a touchdown. Freddie, 6 for 24. John Delvecchio, 3 carries for 12, and Jeff Boyer, 2 for 4. Delvecchio led the way receiving-wise, 4 catches, 42 yards, and obviously the game-winning touchdown. Iannone had 2 catches for 16 yards, but Esposito and Walsh both had 1 catch, but big gashing 49 and 45-yard plays. And kudos to defense. I mean, the offense, came together towards the end of the game, but defensively, it's just awesome to see so many guys on the box score. 7 tackles, 6 tackles, 5. All you guys from defensive line to linebackers. That was a good team defensive game, and it's a big reason why you guys stayed in the game and won. And I can see maybe why on JV you guys were unscored upon, because you guys were fast and physical, and Brewster had a lot of trouble moving the ball versus you guys. But, so that's pretty much wrapping it up. So any final thoughts, any final things you guys want to say? I can end the recording. You guys can hang on the Zoom for the rest of the night as far as I'm concerned. I can keep the Zoom open, but in terms of the recording, any final things you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
On my end, I just like to thank Tony for getting this together. It was awesome. It's great seeing everybody, great living through the game again. And I can't thank you enough, Tony, based as being an alumni and also being the head coach of the program. So much appreciated.
You're welcome. It's a lot of fun for me to do too. Trust me. I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
Tony, thank you very much. Really. And you guys, thanks for reaching out. Tommy, thanks for finding me. Freddie, thanks for initiating this thing as well. And congratulations to all you guys coaching the team and keeping things going, man. Keep that heritage going.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, Tony, also just wanted to thank you for taking on this Vault program. It really is a testament to what Eastchester football is all about, going way back when you're dinosaurs like us to, my kid playing, and, it's very much appreciative, and, you never forget the guys you play football with.
No, clearly.
And Tony, I would say, when you're coaching, look at the joy you brought all of us tonight, and all so many years later, and the opportunity to play together, came once in a lifetime, and then it's gone. And you can stress to your players that to take advantage of it and not go through the motions, because I just feel like these opportunities come and then they go, and then you're left. We're left with such good memories because we gave all of ourselves. So if you can share that with your players to kind of remind them that even 37 years later, you can still feel that brotherhood, but again, you got to put the work in. I think we'd still be so tight if we lost that game, but by the same token, it feels so much better since we won.
Tom,
I agree.
definitely say something about that, and I'll definitely post exactly what you said because I agree with you there. I appreciate you saying that, really.
Yeah, it's true. I agree. It's I don't remember all the whole details, but you remember the feeling. You remember what it was like to be on the team and sharing it with the other guys. And like George said earlier, there was, everyone worked together. They did what they needed to do to get the job done, and it just was ingrained in your head, through the coaching and everything. Just shows perfect example.
Absolutely, Andrew. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, Tony, for doing this. I appreciate it. It's great seeing you guys, and I can't really add anything else since it's all been said a couple of times before, but something to pass along to the new players and the new generation coming up. You'll never forget your time on the field and the brotherhood that you feel. And the successes that you have on the field and the work you put in, as it was mentioned earlier, I believe dictate your success in the future and your passion in life or whatever you pursue. I'm sure all of us will agree. The dedication and the work that we put on the football field, the 2-a-days, the captain's practices, Fred, you remember those. The life knocks you down, but it's how you get up and you remember the work you put in as a young teen helps you immensely.
So well said. Yeah, your message is loud and clear, and I think this younger generation, will definitely hear the message you guys are saying. You guys are a living testament of that, being a brotherhood, working together as a team, and you guys coming back 37 years later and still, reliving these moments. And then, you guys were a brotherhood. It was very clear, and I really appreciate you guys coming on. And, hopefully we have some teams in the future that kind of model along what you guys did, because it was truly awesome. It was truly awesome to be a part of, and I'm glad you guys all kind of joined up.
First thing I had to do, Tony, is put their cell phones down and get on the field. That's the first thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that. You're not wrong with that. So with that being said, I guess we'll wrap up Eastchester Vault Week 3. Week 4 will be same time next week. Again, I want to thank the 1984 alumni for jumping on this call. I'm going to end the recording, guys. If you guys want to hang on and say your goodbyes to everyone, that's perfectly fine. But in terms of the recording for Vault Week 3, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, and take a look for Week 4 coming next week. We will announce that game on Monday. All right, thanks, and have a great day, guys.